You found us. What about this idea?
Gotta listen to this show. Why?
Because it's about the hearts and minds of entrepreneurs.
Oh, nailed it.
I didn't even look at the wall.
Nailed it.
I didn't even look at the
All
wall.
right, listen, honestly, this is a show. It's different than other shows about entrepreneurship.
It's real. It's real. Real stories.
Is it?
We tend to talk very real.
I love
And
it.
so do our guests. So come have fun with us. Oh, we're back.
We're back, second
We're
half.
back, second half. Or
Why do we do this?
part two.
Why do we do these
Aren't we-
shows? I mean, what is this all about?
What is life
What is
all about, really?
What does any of this matter?
It doesn't.
Does it?
No.
I think it does a little bit.
Okay.
No, I think the show, I think whether you realize it or not, there's someone out there who's thinking about opening up a business, who's listening to the things that you're saying and learning something from this. I really do
I hope
believe
so.
that.
Yeah, I hope
Well,
so.
all of us really have come into businesses that we had no business being in.
For sure.
And I think that is probably true 80% of the time
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
entrepreneurs.
Just
it's
happens.
like, okay, well, they knew this one thing, but the rest of it, they're a complete failure at. So
Yeah.
we have to find a way to fill in those gaps. I was just thinking, I wanted to talk about this experience I had yesterday. I won't even know what I'm talking about. I think it's
Wait a minute, I love this.
Neuro-linguistic programming. And so what this woman does, and I think her name is Rebecca, and Rebecca, forgive me, I'll figure it out and send it to Clark so that he can get your name on there. But she helps you get rid of sort of those career killing voices inside of you, like subconscious, and it has to do with like the exercise that we did. Should we
What?
have you ever done a tapping exercise?
No.
Me either.
Let's do it.
What's
do
a
it.
tapping exercise?
So I don't know if I'm going to do it right, but so the tapping exercise is,
Tap dancing.
Tap dancing exercise?
I can do the time stuff.
Got it.
Okay, so I'll do as much as I can because I'm not Rebecca, right?
Yeah.
And sorry if your name's not Rebecca.
We're going to call you Rebecca for this. For the purpose of this.
I thought it was only me who did that with names.
Oh, I'm
Sorry.
so bad.
Or Steve, or whatever your name
I'm
was.
so
I forget.
bad. I get it in my head. Well, like the other night, didn't Andrew come in and I said, "Hey, Anthony."
Yeah, totally.
It's an A.
It's an A.
It's close.
Yeah. And he
I'm
looked
very
at you
bad
like,
for it. I get it in my head what their name is, and then I can't get it out. Anyway, so the tapping exercise is meant to do two things: really reveal the thing that you're thinking.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
right, and also replace it.
Okay.
Right? And so, like the tapping exercise goes like you tap
okay.
while you're saying things. So you're tapping.
Oh, shit.
You're tapping.
What
Am I
did
going to end up crying?
No, I don't think so. It's like I have limiting beliefs.
Oh, I definitely have
I
limiting
have limiting
beliefs.
beliefs.
I have limiting beliefs.
I don't want to say that out loud because that's a negative thought,
Right.
and you shouldn't say
You're
that.
You don't
admitting
have
what
them.
it is.
I don't have that.
I have
I've been
them.
wrestling.
I'm like,
with
I can
limiting
do whatever the
beliefs.
fuck I want.
Right. Then you
I
come
can
back.
do whatever
Then you come
I
back, and then you have to tap here, on your collarbone, under your arm,
Interesting.
and then you do it over again. But you replace that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I am
I have-
limitless.
yeah.
Like a,
Got you.
Like I'm something amazing is happening, and I've created that.
Yeah.
Sort of like something about the tapping spots.
Interesting.
Anyway, I was like,
No shit.
I
Oh, shit.
I thought it was
and did it
amazing.
work? Did it fix
I
it?
think we should have her on the show. What do you think? We can do some
Yeah.
tapping.
Of course.
She's so good. So I thought
We're going to have to
it was
acknowledge
really
that her
good. It
name
was at
isn't Rebecca. That's
Sorry.
Hopefully her name's Rebecca. I think her
Hopefully it
name's
is,
Rebecca.
yeah.
She was the happiest, cutest person ever, and she taught me how to tap. And it was like one of the. I'm not really that good at conferences, even though I speak at conferences quite often. And
What do you mean you're not good?
I'm restless.
You should do the tapping
Yeah,
on
I'm
that
very
one.
restless. So like the first,
I do well at
Yeah, I
conferences.
do. I really.
I don't get
I kill
restless.
it at
soak in all
conferences.
I don't
of
get
the
bored.
Information.
I'm so good at this.
I'm tapping. So anyway, I want to
think that
dive
would be
into
great.
that. Do you do any kind of exercises like that? I mean, like, do you wake up and meditate, or
I meditate. Yeah, I meditate. I lift weights. I do feel like something that I am good at is that I don't have negative self-talk, and I feel like my brain is slanted to view things from a negative way. But I went through probably 2 or 3 years where I felt really stupid doing this, but I would stand in front of the mirror sometimes and just say positive things. Or I would, like, at the minute that I felt something negative happening, especially like something negative in the business, because as you know, like, you don't always have control over things that happen. And more often, it's like being a parent. You know, you're like, I can do my best to instill these ideas, but that doesn't mean that that's what the kid's going to end up doing. And it's like that. It's like that with having employees. You don't always know what's happening. So sometimes when things would feel like they were going in a direction that I didn't like, it would feel out of control, which inherently feels negative.
Right.
So then I still do this. If things are going in a way that I don't like, I will verbally, like, out loud say, you know, things like, everything that happens for my highest good, or things aren't happening to me, they're happening for me.
Yes.
You know, things like that. But that I did have to, like, work on that.
You worked on that.
I worked on that a lot.
Until it became your subconscious,
Yes.
right? Okay.
And now it's like, even when things are going poorly, I'm just like, whatever, dude. It's going to turn out fine. Things always work out in my favor. It's going to be fine. Like, it doesn't feel fine right now. It will be fine.
Yeah.
So you don't, but inside the little negative voice, or the voice is almost always positive, or you've trained it to be positive.
I think I've trained it to be positive because
Yeah.
I think I spent many, the way that I grew up was, I grew up around a lot of very negative people and very negative situations. And I think negative things, or thinking about things from a negative way, almost became like a protection.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, if I expect the worst, then I'm never surprised.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what happens when you expect the worst is that then your brain's like, I forget what it's called, cognitive bias. Like your brain will start looking for things to reinforce. I hate the word manifesting because I feel like, you know, the white girls with their crystals have been like, I'm going to manifest. And it's like,
I don't see them, but yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I
live in a world full of white girls with crystals, you know.
But it's true. There's even a neurological.
Yes,
piece
your
of
brain
manifesting.
starts looking
You
for
start
things to
seeing.
reinforce
Totally.
what you already think.
What you already think.
So if you're thinking about things negatively and oh, things are always happening to me, bad things are always happening around me, your brain starts looking for more negative things to reinforce, because it's your brain protecting you. It's your brain filling in the gaps of what you already think.
Yeah. You're putting it on alert for whatever thing you're thinking about.
Look for that and be on alert for that, because you want to protect yourself.
Yeah, I go in
from
this like
that.
circular motions, because it's like, okay, so I'm having a negative, like today was a good example. I'm having some negative thoughts. I'm having some doubts about who I am. I'm having some doubts about the things I'm doing and the choices
so you
I'm
can
making.
have those moments.
I have those right. So
think it's
I do. I
good.
have those. I'm having those moments, and I also know the more I'm thinking about that,
it makes it
the more it
ruminating.
reinforces it.
Right.
And then I'm like thinking about that.
Right.
Right. So it's like all of a sudden now I'm like, oh fuck! Now I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking negatively about thinking about that. And now I've made something wrong with me, like double dipping into bad. Now I'm thinking about
You're
wrong.
ruminating
And then
on
I'm
it.
like, holy shit! It's rolling.
Yeah.
It's rolling. So it's like I feel like what you do is the answer.
Well, and it's also, I do think that there is value in acknowledging when something isn't going your way or when something is bad, and to like honor the feeling that you're having of like, hey, this is actually really shitty, and I'm feeling like this is something that I don't want to be happening right now. However, things are going to turn around. Things always work out for me. You know what I mean? Like, I do think it's important. Like, don't just shove it down and be like, this isn't happening. Everything's fine.
I'm glad you say that, though, because that's sort of what it it feels like
Right.
you're supposed to do or something. Because like,
But it's not. Like, I think there is a lot of value in saying like, welp, that didn't go the way that I expected it to go, or I could have done better with that. That didn't, you know what I mean? But
Right. I
also
wonder. Okay. So
having the shift.
having that, it has to be like, because I even dig deeper in it and I say, okay, well, this thing is happening for me, right? This thing is happening. It's not a career killer. It's not a
Right.
business killer. This thing is happening. So because it's happening, I must have been thinking about this for
No.
this to happen, right? So I'm like,
Then you're like, you're really
now, how did I
ruminating now.
manifest this now, right? And I'm not. So that is the piece that I need to intervene
Well,
in.
And you know,
Being vulnerable here.
I think
Yeah,
that
yeah, it's
sometimes, like, yes, to your point of like, oh, there have been so many times in my business, especially over the last couple of years, where when I had the 2 stores and it felt like I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off all the time, there were many times that I was like, do I even give a shit about doing this? Like, do I want,
right.
is this what I want to
why
be
is
doing?
this the thing I'm doing?
Right. Or like, hey, if this just disappeared overnight, I'm going to be fine. Like, I can go back to just working by myself and I'll have full-time clients. And like, I found myself thinking things like that because I was doing something that I wasn't really enjoying.
Yeah.
So, you know, there have definitely been times when I was deciding, like, I had all these things going on that kind of made me want to transition back to one store where I was like, oh, did I do this? Because I was thinking about it. But then at the end of the day, I'm also like, look how it turned out.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It turned out perfectly. And
Right.
that's where I like then pivoting back to that, like everything that happens for the best.
It does.
And it doesn't always feel the best, or sometimes it might look maybe on the outside like a failure or a loss or something. But then internally, I know like, actually that's exactly where I needed to be. And all those things really needed to happen. And it didn't feel good all the time, every time, but everything turned out exactly the way that it should have. You know, so like,
And it will.
I hear you. I mean,
you know what I mean? Like I do think
So
that
where do
even,
so when do you drive? Like when there are things kind of going off kilter,
Mm-hmm.
when do you fucking buckle down and work your ass off and get back to that point? Like, is there is there a
think-
moment that does that?
I don't know if I would say there's a moment. I think it's about consistency. It's not always about like doing the most all the time. It's just like continuing to show up, do the thing. Like it's, you know, not necessarily foot all the way down on the gas, but is your foot on the gas at all?
Yeah, right.
You know,
Take your foot off the brake. The
take your
gas
foot off
doesn't
the
work
brake.
as well.
Yes. Don't
Yeah.
be pushing both. Well, I mean,
but that's part of your makeup is to like throw yourself really, really hard into it.
Oh, that has been. I mean, sometimes you just have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have
Sometimes
to.
you do have to.
But sometimes you wear yourself out a little bit. Like I wonder a little bit if right now, like I'm down in certain ways, and I wonder if that's from like throwing myself
Overdoing
at things
it,
too
burning
much
out.
for a little while or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, you know,
I mean,
because we're still not to a finished thing here that
Right.
feels good. But
right. Well, I think that it like ebbs and flows, right? You can't be like all on all the time. I mean, like we're just people, you know. So there's
Well,
been plenty.
that.
There's been plenty of times where I've been like, my interest isn't quite as, you know, enthusiastic as it was, you know, 2 years
Right.
ago or 5 years ago or whatever.
Right.
But all of that like ebbs and flows too, because like you can't be on all the time. You just can't. But as long as you keep showing up and you're consistently doing
Well, yeah.
the thing, like small steps forward are still steps forward.
Exactly.
You know, and like you can't just be balls to the wall all the time, because eventually, even if you really like what you're doing all the time, which is not realistic, no one it's called a job, not vacation. You know, like you're not always having a good time. You're working. You know, so like there's going to be times where you're like, I'm having such a good time and I feel so motivated and I'm inspired, and then there'll be other times where you're like, I do not give a single shit.
Yeah,
Like this
exactly.
is so silly. You know,
Yeah.
like, and you can't. I mean, there is an element of like fake it till you make it, but that's what I mean by consistency. It's like you're showing up and you're doing the tasks and you're doing the things that you need to do. And you might not always be like, oh, I'm just so in love with my job
Right.
that I use to
it's
just
not
pay
always
taxes.
fun, right?
It's not always fun.
There's always something for me to learn. And
I learn something new every
day.
single
Yeah,
damn day.
every day.
And sometimes they're forced lessons, and you're like,
and it's
okay.
there are
guess I'll
things I
learn
don't
that now.
like to do.
I guess.
And I have to do them anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, if you don't want to be forced to do stuff, I guess don't start a business. Don't start a business.
Right.
But just know that if you do, there are going to be plenty of days where it's not super fun.
Exactly.
And you still are just like, all right, man. Like at the end of the day, I guess you just have to decide, like, is what I'm doing really, like, is this what I actually want to be doing with my time? So much of our time is taken up with our job. Like, you spend just as more time at work than you do in your actual life.
More time.
So if you don't like it, at a certain point, I would just say, if you're going through like tough times, don't let the tough times dictate whether or not you like it. Because there's so many times owning a business
That's
that are
really good advice.
that are
right?
No, this is
Yeah.
like really solid.
It's really solid advice.
It's true, though.
I feel like there has been, equal or more times in running a business where I've been like, Jesus Christ.
What the hell did I do?
Why? Why did I do
just
this?
paint nails for a living. Like, it shouldn't be this crazy, but like, at the end of the day, it's like, all right, well, do I enjoy doing nails? Do I enjoy teaching people? Yeah, I don't care about doing a lot of all these other things. And then that's when you find other people to do those things to free up your time. But yeah, you're not gonna love the tasks every day, but.
Do you love the part about having control of your space? To make it look cool,
Oh, of
to
course.
make it like
It's very much your spot.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if I could just keep building salons to design them, I would. Like,
Yeah.
both.
Is there a market out there for that? Maybe.
I wish I could have just, if I could have a second job, it would be interior decorating. Like, I love decorating stuff.
Have
I
you
love
put yourself
picking
out
things
into the
up.
world as a salon designer?
No, but maybe that
Why not?
next entrepreneur idea. Like, let
you
me
get sick
design
of
your
this.
salon. I love everything in both my stores I've picked out, and I can't tell you how many times people come in there like, holy shit, it's so cool in here.
It
And I'm
is
like,
really cool.
I've picked out everything in there. Like, I love that part of it, and I love being able to make it exactly how I want it to look, and changing out art and stuff like that. And yeah, I like all of that. I wouldn't say, I definitely have creative control of the space. Sometimes
Yeah.
you don't have entirely all of the control of everything that's happening, but that's okay too. I like
Yeah.
to have other people in there that have creative ideas, and
and to look at yours and give you
Yeah.
the feedback and see what they see.
totally.
Yeah. Would you like to
Yeah,
tackle
when
another
you-
space?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. I was like, oh, let's look at the space and let's look at what we
Can't
can
paint
do.
the brick. It says right in the thing, no painting the brick.
That's true. You read all 58 pages of that contract.
I read that one.
See, that's where I mess up. Is I'm like, I ain't reading that. I know. They got me on the terms and
I missed
conditions.
it. I missed it.
Yeah, I'll help you with this sign. I love picking out.
Oh God, I'm
So-
so happy.
Yeah, I love
I'm
that
so
stuff.
happy right now.
Just
Look
don't
at
less
that.
things.
This
to
is
think
all
about.
it took.
I know, right?
Just a little
I just
conversation.
needed to thank you for coming and save me from my day today.
Well,
You did.
well, good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You taught me some things.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
I know.
Mostly about how to get your short nails long.
My nubbies. We
Yeah.
got to get my nubbies moving.
Nubbins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were they? Again?
Booty diggers.
Booty diggers.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like it's true.
Yep. Well, I guess that's it, huh? I'm just kidding.
Well, see you guys later.
That was great.
No, I think we've exhausted the entrepreneurial advice
Yeah,
portion of the show.
fine.
Yeah. I think so.
I don't have any other advice.
No, I think you offered a lot of nuggets there for people.
Good.
Booty.
Booty
Nuggets.
booty nuggets.
Whatever. Yeah.
That's not.
No, that's not it.
not it.
That's like a side thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a whole different topic. That's a different podcast.
The advice could be that you just make up your own language around your business.
I do that. I very much
What does that
do
mean?
do
Just
that.
Like booty nubbins.
Booty nubbins.
No, it's booty diggers.
Booty
Booty
diggers.
diggers.
Like,
Nubbins.
that's not a mainstream word.
It is now.
It's out there now.
Everyone in my salon says booty diggers. Like, oh, look at these little booty diggers.
Is it in your training manual?
No, but it should be.
So,
Well, do you say, now I want to dig that up a little. So
there you go.
booty diggers, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean if you have like your long nails,
Yeah,
you
that's-
can't be digging at your booty?
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
I was confused as to what it meant too. I just don't
Like
know how
the
to
Booty
ask the
diggers, because
question.
they're short.
They're
if you
short.
had long nails, how are you going to do that? You can't pick a wedgie with long nails.
You can't?
I mean,
Well,
you can, but it's certainly more of a process. And you got to be careful that you're not bending them and stuff,
I just am not very well versed in
Well,
picking wedgies.
Sure.
I don't think so.
Sure, Sam.
Okay, whatever.
I mean,
It's not meant to be literal, but maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, you tried some explanation.
That's
of
what
it.
we've been calling them for a long time. I'm not going to change it now. It's funny. People always laugh. Like booty diggers. It's just meant to be funny.
Even if they
Not
don't know what it
literal.
means.
Oh my God, I love
I mean,
that.
it's
Okay.
visual enough.
Yeah, well, it's just in my mind, it's like 4 or 5 different visuals, and I'm like, which one is it? Which one
Any
one
one.
of these things?
Any
is
one
it?
of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And if they're too long,
You can do some damage.
It's the damage part.
you can do
or-
some
or
damage.
The unsanitary part. Both of them?
Yes.
a little bit.
You
yeah.
got it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
You got it.
All right.
I think
keep,
we've covered.
Keep the long ones out of there.
Might be painful too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where,
I'm a
this
nail
is where the
tech.
questions came into my
I get
mind.
it.
And you're sort of
I'm a
answering
nail
them.
tech, not a proctologist.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you would, that would be a really not great day if you go to your proctologist and they're like, ding, ding.
You're like,
You're like, oh, hold on a minute.
turn your head and cough.
So you go to Nail Ninja a lot, do you?
I'm here to do your exam.
Yeah. I don't know if that would work for me. Like when you go to the places.
You never
and-
know. You never know.
You're right. I don't know.
You don't know till you
Maybe
know.
like
Best
You just-
damn proctologist around.
Do you have
Dr.
a card?
Steve and his.
It's just
Do you have a card?
I am going to tell people about you, Dr. Steve.
Yeah,
not
dude.
Steve.
for sure.
He's got the long nails.
Yeah, but when the people have the super long nails and they're like, hold on a minute while I type on this keyboard for you, and you're like, wow.
It's a skill.
I think you might
You
be a little
know-
faster if you didn't have those things on there clickety clacking all over the place.
There
But good for you.
is, while we're talking about typing, there is a, I don't know if I can plug a company. There is a,
Of course you can.
it's called
Futures-
Tippy Tap keyboards. I think that's what they're called, Tippy Tap keyboards. They're
heard of
for
this.
people with long nails.
Are they?
Yes, and it's so cool. It was invented by a woman who obviously has long nails, and it's like a keyboard that has keys that are like this, so that you don't like hit them when you have long nails. It's very creative.
That's very creative.
Yeah, the
Solving a problem.
yeah, she solved a problem. She started following me the other day on Instagram, and I was like, "Who is this lady?" And she was like, "It said CEO of like Tippy Tap, whatever." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Did you order one?
No, I haven't ordered one, but I don't do a whole. I mean, I do some typing, but I don't really have it. These are
Yours
short.
aren't. Yours
yeah,
aren't so
these are
bad.
not crazy. I can still type pretty well with these.
There was a woman at a lumber place that I would go to regularly back when I was doing
she's got,
construction.
like-
And she, I mean, like,
Clickety clack.
how do you do it even?
Banana hands.
The one that always freaks me out is when people are trying to do things on their phone, and everything is
Tip-tap,
like,
tip-tap, I do. I have to say,
Well, because your nail
Mine are long
doesn't
enough.
activate the.
like this.
Yeah.
I'm texting and I'm like,
Yeah. Because your nail doesn't activate the screen,
Are you
right?
that
You actually
fast?
have to touch it with your fingers.
I can text very fast. I'm a very fast texter.
Okay.
I'm a very fast typer too, but it is a little bit more of a hassle with the nails.
Yeah.
These are kind of as long as I can possibly
This is
go.
why I have nubbins.
I mean,
Nubbins.
nubbins are certainly better for many things. And most of our clients do have short nails, I will say. Like we
Really?
have plenty of clients that have short nails, and not everyone's doing crazy art and stuff. Lots of people just single color, short nail, nice manicure.
In the world
It's kind
of-
of my thing.
Of small shop business things, like when you drive by all the nail salons,
Mm-hmm.
there's a part of me that's like, how many people are getting their nails done? Like it's not.
Quite a few.
Yeah, but it's as a man, of course, right?
We have
it's like,
lots of male clients.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. We have a ton of male clients. Mm-hmm.
Well, not to say that men can't do it, but it's just like outside the scope of things. There's a few different shops that I drive by.
Yeah.
Obviously, I get nails better than I used to.
Right.
Like a lot of people are doing this. When I drive by the person who sells rocks and beads or whatever, I'm like, how in the
going in
fuck
there?
are they making it? And
I
then-
really don't know. You know, there's a
It's
lot
money
of
laundering.
They're
is that what it is?
It's not a real business. It's got to
I
be
don't
money
know.
laundering.
I do. There's been. I mean, look how many businesses that you would imagine are doing really well that close.
Right.
You know, so it's like, yeah, there are some stores that I'm like, I don't know how they're doing it, but
I don't get it. I mean, there must be someone out there who's buying rocks and beads or whatever. And then there's
the white girls with their crystals.
Yeah, white girls with their
White
crystals.
girls with their crystals. Oh, I gotta burn some sage.
And then there's the occasional like aquatic pet store that you go into because your kids want some fish or something, and you're like, well, you have 16,000
Yeah, who's buying all these fish?
16,000 aquariums, all of them running a little motor with a little light on top, and all these fish swimming around. And like, how many fish do you sell a day that allows you to operate
It
this?
does
I don't
raise some
understand
questions, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never walked into any Minnesotan's home and been like, wow, look at this comprehensive aquarium.
It's so gorgeous. It's got every fish there was, and they have full shops full of them.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens to all those poor fish.
They get fed to the lizards.
But then what happens to the lizards?
This is why we have so many carp
They get
in our
fed to the
lakes.
cats.
It's just a food chain.
I don't know why I swallowed the fly.
Yeah.
All right, so we always end our show with a big idea. But I already kind of globbed onto your idea of doing nail
What was it?
interiors. I
Yeah.
think that's freaking cool.
I
You
would
mean
love
like-
to design other people's salons.
Yeah.
I think you should.
I
Yeah.
think that would be pretty fun.
You could be a little celebrity salon
Designer.
Yeah. You should get that on the old internet. That's what I tried.
Tippy tap your way onto the internet.
You started with the radio shit, and now you're talking about the old internet.
Get yourself on the interwebs.
Get yourself on the
Make yourself
interwebs.
a
Okay, it's been a
AOL.com
long day.
page.
Facebook. Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
on the MySpace. Man, MySpace was a good time.
Yeah, was that fun for you?
Simpler times.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you could put a song on your page.
I didn't
Yeah.
get
Everything
I
was
didn't get
emo.
into
You
it.
put your own HTML code on there because you were emo.
I was late to the MySpace.
You were all emo.
Like
was
I
late
put my
to that.
dashboard confessional on my MySpace page.
Oh, no shit. You were really into this social stuff from the start. Did you do Tumblr and shit
No,
too?
I did not do Tumblr, and I was like just on the cusp of like when I moved to Minnesota, I was 17, and that was when like MySpace was just becoming popular,
Okay.
and then
That's perfect then.
yeah. So I still had a full childhood of just being a complete hooligan with no supervision, which was great.
Yeah.
Just like us
It
Gen
shows.
Xers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep, I got
So-
into some wild times.
Yeah, I mean, so what about this idea? Any ideas that you got rolling around in there that may not ever, there could be something that may come to fruition, or it could be something that you're just like, oh, this is a weird idea that I've always thought about.
I mean, now my brain just started thinking about designing other people's salons.
Right. That's,
I don't know that I would consider myself at this point to be like an actual entrepreneur where I'm like, let me just come up with these ideas and then make them happen and then move on to something else.
is that what entrepreneurs do?
I know a lot of entrepreneurs that do that create just like business after business after business, and then maybe they sell it to somebody else and then they go on and do something else. I'm
Do
like,
they make money?
Yeah, I mean, if you're selling it.
if you're selling
That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, it would be, except my brain doesn't really do that.
Right.
And, kind of like you just said, I feel like I sort of just happened into being a business owner because I had a comprehensive amount of experience where I was like, oh, well, and actually I had pitched the idea of an apprenticeship to my former salon, and they were like, that would never work for nails. And I was like, why?
Yes, it does.
People do hair apprenticeships. Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't, and I was like, if I had an apprentice, I
nails
could
are a
move
lot more
so much
popular.
faster. Like,
Yeah.
and if I was teaching someone how to do it, and they were just like, nah, and kind of shot it down. And so like,
Now
it
look at you.
worked, but like, I don't know that I have other
It's all right.
ideas
It's perfectly fair.
for any other business. But like, I do think designing other salons
I think that'd be freaking cool.
would be super fun.
Yeah.
So here's the short bridge. I help people with their careers.
Oh.
Here's the short bridge. Partner up with someone who's designing hair salons.
I don't know
Someone
that
that's
anyone goes
cool.
around doing that either.
There's a couple people, because I saw them on the interwebs. There's
Saw
a
them on
couple
MySpace.
people, because they were doing salon flips, and
Sure.
they bring in people who design salons.
Yeah.
High-end salons. So it might be kind of interesting to see if there's any people doing cool ones. Because there's got to be some cool ones in like LA, right?
They're nail salons or
No,
hair salons?
hair salons.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a ton in Minneapolis. There's a ton of really pretty
Exactly.
hair salons.
Yeah.
Tons of them.
But I don't think they're very well designed, most of them.
Have you ever? Can I talk about another business?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Marikai Hair Lounge?
No.
She just, I don't know how to pronounce her new one that she just came up with, but she has like 3 stores now, and she, her design in there is incredible. Her name is Tiffany Wheelhouse. She's awesome. She's, just started out doing hair, and then she's now built 3, or she might have 4 salons
Sounds
now.
like someone we
and
should interview.
She's great. Yeah, you should talk to her.
What was her name?
Tiffany Wheelhouse.
Okay.
Yeah, she's great. She's super nice, really kind, obviously knows what she's doing, because now she's opened up 3 or 4 in the last like 5 years. She's doing very well. But her salons are beautiful. I mean, just beautiful designs on the inside.
And she does it?
And she does it. She picks out everything herself. Yeah.
Why can't I be that creative? I really want that phone. Maybe
Some
I
people
can
get
go
all
into
the
my
luck,
subconscious tapping.
Yeah. I am creative. I can design.
create spaces.
I create
I am
my
so creative.
space. I creative tapping.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another entrepreneur you guys should talk to is Haley Matthews Jones, who she owns the Get Down Coffee Company and the Minneapolis Vintage Market. And then she also just created a company called The Jump, where she makes a one-size-fits-all jumpsuit. Like, she's one of those people that just comes up with all these.
One-size-fits-all jumpsuit?
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
You should
The
ask her about it.
long-torsoed friend
You
says.
should just ask her about it, because
Yeah.
she's got a whole thing that she's doing, and she's so creative and she's so smart.
I mean, like,
well, they're for women, but
oh.
I'm pretty sure that, don't quote me on that, I guess I shouldn't say, but I'm pretty sure it's a one-size-fits-all
female.
For the
female.
ladies.
Yeah.
So.
I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Nah,
Sorry,
you're
Haley,
good
if
enough.
that's not true.
Close.
I want it anyway.
But she'd be a great person for you guys to talk to too. But
All right.
Do you have any ideas today? This is probably
We're
like,
just-
I'm
we're
so
just
glad that
done.
you were on the show to pep us up.
yeah, we're just
Because
done. We're all
this
done
is
for
like,
the day.
we were dragging our booties.
Well, yeah.
And, you know,
can
we
always
don't
count
It's
on
usually-
been
me.
one of those days.
It's been one of those lives. We just keep waking up, is what I like to say.
Yeah.
It just keeps happening. I'm awake again.
Am I awake again? I'm not in prison yet?
Yeah. I don't get to just wake up and exercise and then beat someone up and
Yeah.
go to sleep.
We're the entrepreneurial gang. Don't
Yes.
forget that.
Yeah.
True.
We're going to go somewhere,
And do something.
raise some ruckus. Okay, we'll probably just have dinner and drinks, but whatever.
It could get ruckus.
It could get, someone could
it's
talk
more-
to us.
You
more
never
likely with you
know
up
what
there.
could
I
happen.
know.
The day is young, but we are not.
Right.
Well, thank you guys for having me on.
Thanks for
Of course.
Thanks for being here.
Yes.
I had heard so many amazing things about you, and I think you're even better than what was said. Honestly,
Stop.
thank you. Thank you for loving me,
true.
even though my nails suck.
I love you so much,
Thank you.
we'll make your nails better.
I just made that up that you love me, but thank you for
I
saying
do.
that.
I do.
Well, you manifested.
I love you deeply. You manifested it.
manifested.
Andrea loves me. Andrea loves me. Andrea loves me.
Andrea
That's
loves
all you
me.
got to do. Put it out in the world.
Happening.
You fixed it.
We've done it, everyone.
All right. That's
All
it.
right.
We're
Thank
done.
you.
Thanks.
You're the best. Bye. Don't cry. It's over.
Oh, you did it. You made it to the very end of the show. You know what you can do to help us? What can they do to help us? They can tell their friends how awesome this show is.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
You know what else? And I don't know if people know this or don't know this, but like if you found us and you see us on socials somewhere, just hit repost or share it with your community.
Share, repost, follow. Isn't there a follow option?
Yeah,
of some
follow,
kind?
subscribe. We're not going to charge you anything.
No.
Just hit the subscribe button.
No,
It's
we
not gonna
just
hurt
need
you.
to create a community around entrepreneurism and how the real shit happens.
I like it. Well, because we're real. You said it in the intro.
Real.
We talk real. No, seriously, tell your friends. What a great show. Oh my gosh, these people are doing the best work ever. Yeah, right?
That's what you should say.
Yeah.
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 And just come back. Have fun with us. We love this.
We'll have someone, we'll interview someone cool next week too.
Someone completely different.
Yeah, from prison. Thanks.
We always have to have that.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.